Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado meeting with President Trump at the White House today. The Machado camp sending these images to ABC News showing the moment she arrived for lunch with the president. Her political party is widely considered to have won the 2024 Venezuelan election, an outcome rejected by now captured Nicolas Maduro. The U.S. seized Maduro and his wife during a military raid of his house in Caracas earlier this month. And ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang joins me now for more on this. Selena, what's the early readout on this meeting between Trump and Machado?
Yeah, well, it's really unclear what Machado, on her part, got out of this meeting, given that during the White House press briefing, the press secretary Caroline Leavitt said that the president hasn't changed his view on Machado. Now, remember, it was very recently where President Trump said that he doesn't believe she has the support or respect within Venezuela to lead the country. That's despite the fact that Machado's party is credited with winning the last election, but was blocked from taking power because of the Maduro regime. Now, take a listen to what Leavitt said when she was asked whether the president has changed his mind.
I think the president's assessment that you just pointed out was based on realities on the ground. It was a realistic assessment based on what the president was reading and hearing from his advisors and national security team. And at this moment in time, his opinion on that matter has not changed.
Now, since the U.S. ousted Maduro, we have seen the Trump administration sideline Machado and instead choose to work with what's left of the Maduro regime. That includes his vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, who is now the acting president. President Trump recently spoke to Rodriguez. He called her someone who is very good to work with. And today, Caroline Leavitt said that Delcy Rodriguez and the current leadership there have been, quote, extremely cooperative and have thus far met all of the demands and requests of the United States. There was also another notable exchange where Leavitt was asked when there will be elections in Venezuela. Her answer was that there's no timetable, but that Trump is committed to hopefully seeing elections in Venezuela one day.
Well, and Selena, all of this is happening as the U.S. has seized a sixth oil tanker linked to Venezuela. What more do we know about that?
Yeah, so this is part of an ongoing operation. Yet another oil tanker linked to Venezuela that has been seized. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem posted a video of it. You can see it there showing helicopters and U.S. military personnel dropping down from ropes, rappelling down to seize that tanker. They said that this was boarded early Thursday. It's called the motor tanker Veronica. Kristi Noem said that the ship had previously passed through Venezuelan waters and was operating in defiance of Trump's, quote, established quarantine of sanctioned vessels in the Caribbean. Now, this comes as the U.S. is trying to take control of Venezuela's oil industry, control oil moving in and out of that country, and as Trump is personally pushing oil companies to invest billions of dollars to rebuild Venezuela's energy infrastructure. In fact, a senior U.S. official told me recently that the U.S. is considering lifting sanctions on Venezuela in order to facilitate those oil sales.
All right, Selena Wang, thank you. Political analyst Liz Rebecca Alarcon joins me now for more on this. And Liz Rebecca, first, thank you for your time. But with Trump's messaging, I mean, what does a meeting like this with Machado mean for Venezuela's interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez?
Alex, as far as I'm concerned, when Maria Corina Machado left the White House, she said, and I quote, "We count with President Trump for the liberation of Venezuela." So what I think this means for the regime is that Maria Corina is the one representing the voice of the people, that she is the one that we want to see in power, and that we are hopeful that she left the White House, making it clear that while the Trump administration continues to try to maintain stability with the Maduro regime and Delcy Rodriguez, Maria Corina Machado now has his ear and will be continued to be included in the plans moving forward. We know that Trump is easy to manipulate. I hope that she stroked his ego so that these meetings continue.
Well, and with that in mind, and certainly it does send a message to the interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, but President Trump also said that he doesn't believe that she has the respect and support needed to lead Venezuela. So, I mean, how, first, do you think that's the case? But also, I mean, how do you sparse that together?
I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic that the press conference where the press secretary of the administration reiterated that there is no plan for elections and that Trump's opinion remains the same, will actually be different, given that that press conference was held literally while Maria Corina Machado was meeting with President Donald Trump. I hope he retracts those statements after today's meeting. I hope that as she's meeting currently with U.S. senators and continuing to build the case for a free Venezuela, a transition to democracy, which is what we all want to see, that today will mark a turning point in what we heard in those first remarks right after the Maduro capture. I know what I would like to see, and I think I speak for most Venezuelans here, is a specific timeline and a commitment for free and fair elections, and for another chance for the world to see that Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo González Urrutia are the people that Venezuelans want to see in power, just like they said they wanted in July of 2024.
Well, and President Trump has talked a lot about American oversight in Venezuela's transition period. You just mentioned one thing that you're looking for is a timeline for a free and fair election. But how receptive do you think Venezuelans might be for more U.S. intervention?
You know, that's a really tough one, Alex. Venezuela has been ransacked by bad actors and countries that are no friends of democracy, like Russia and China and Iran, and has been giving Cuba free oil for decades. And so the intervention of those bad actors, we want to see eliminated, and we hope that the U.S. can help usher in a new era for Venezuela. There is history that in the 70s, there was a win-win dynamic between the U.S. and Venezuela's oil industry, where the oil industry was nationalized and Venezuelans reaped the know-how of U.S. intervention with the investment of funds into the oil industry. So that type of intervention, of collaboration, of allyship is what we want to see. In return, the U.S. received excellent oil exports. That's what I hope we come to as we see a new era for Venezuela. So if the intervention and the involvement looks like that, I think Venezuelans would be very welcome, as long as, again, there's a commitment to a return to democracy and to a country that is run by and for Venezuelans.
Liz, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time today.